Townhomes or single family detached? This is a question I get asked all of the time. Which is better? Well, like all things in life, it depends on your situation. In this video, I'm gonna break down the pros and cons of each so you are confident going into your next home purchase. Hey, what's up y'all? It's Sean, your Charleston realtor. I have helped countless clients buy both townhomes and single family detached homes here in the Charleston area. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to shorten single family detached to just single family. So that we're on the same page, this is what a townhome looks like, and this is what a single family home looks like. Stick around to the end for a bonus where I'll give my thoughts on condominium units, as well as how they compare to townhomes. And if you feel my content provides value to you, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could like and subscribe, as almost 96 of my viewers aren't actually subscribed. Thanks so much, and let's get to the video. So first, let's compare the size you're gonna get to each. As a rule, single family homes will typically be larger than townhomes. Now, I pulled the sales data for Charleston, South Carolina in 2022, and I'm sure other markets are similar. In 2022, only 18% of townhomes sold were greater than 2,000 square feet. Contrast that with single family homes, where 54% of homes were sold greater than 2,000 square feet. The numbers are even more skewed for homes greater than 2,500 square feet. In this case, only 4% of townhomes sold were actually larger than 2,500 square feet, but over 31% of single-family homes were greater than 2,500 square feet. I think there's a couple of reasons for this. First, the proverbial starter home doesn't really exist like it used to. In today's real estate market, bigger is better. People like square footage, more bedrooms, more bathrooms, the flex space to use as offices and playrooms. This has disincentivized builders from constructing smaller homes that might just have 2 bedrooms or a single bathroom. This has left a void in the housing market though, and we've actually seen townhomes fill this void. Townhomes, and to a lesser extent condos, are the new starter home. But even now, townhome construction has been declining over the past couple of decades. Just take a look at this graph from the National Association of Home Builders, which displays the amount of new townhome construction. It peaked back in 2008, obviously, but over the next decade, it never really got back anywhere to pre-financial crisis levels. Another reason why larger townhomes don't exist is that the footprint for each home needs to be similar. Townhomes will typically share a roof and a foundation, so the homes must be a similar size, and the most efficient size tends to be anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 square feet. And here's my last point on size. If someone has the means to buy an incredibly large townhome, they will typically just choose a single family instead. As far as lifestyle goes, people who want or need larger homes typically don't want to live in a townhome. On the flip side, if having a sprawling home with empty rooms isn't for you, then maybe a townhome would best suit you. Which leads us into our next key difference, that is price. On average, a townhome of the same size as a single family home in the same location will usually be 15 to 25% less expensive. So if you're shopping for a home on a budget, this can make townhomes much more appealing. Even if townhomes are less expensive, many people are still hesitant. We have to get to the underlying cause why people don't favor townhomes. Here's a conversation I have with my buyers, particularly first-time home buyers. So many home shoppers are looking for the proverbial dream home, when in reality, they'll only be living there between 2 and 5 years. I might recommend townhomes in this case, and here's why. The Federal Reserve recently published a study that says homeowners have a net worth that is 40 times higher than renters. That's 40 times, not 40%, 40 times higher. Getting you into a home is more important for your long-term financial position than the type of home you buy. If the difference between owning an affordable townhome versus renting an apartment, data shows that owning the townhome is going to make better financial sense for you in the long run. Time in the market is much more important than timing the market, no matter what the asset class, and real estate is no different. Besides, there has never been a period greater than 14 years in the history of the United States where real estate has lost value. So the reason I say all this is that yes, townhomes are less expensive, and they might make sense if you're shopping for a home on a budget. Now, the third difference I want to address between single-family homes and townhomes is operating costs and maintenance. As a rule, townhomes will cost more to maintain than single-family homes. Think about it. A townhome community more closely resembles communal living than a single-family neighborhood, and you will pay more for that. I want to bring up the age-old metaphor called the tragedy of the commons. This is the concept that should a number of people, let's call them homeowners, enjoy unfettered access to a resource, such as a park, they will tend to overuse it, and they may end up destroying its value altogether. To exercise voluntary restraint is not a rational choice for individuals. It's not human nature. If they did, then other homeowners would merely supplant them, and the predictable result is a tragedy for all. Hence, tragedy of the commons. And as much as I hate to say it, this is why we have homeowners associations. The HOA protects people from themselves by creating rules in which to live by. They create rules for parking, for picking up dog poop, and for even cleaning up trash. They might even buy homeowners insurance to protect common roofs and exteriors because they don't trust the individual homeowners to get their own policies. Essentially, they exist to maintain property value. And while you do pay either a monthly or quarterly fee for all of this work, it's not too bad. What many people don't realize is that the money you pay in your HOA dues is used not only for basic upkeep, but also for other things too. Many HOAs will cover yard maintenance, exterior maintenance, termite protection, oftentimes insurance for all the buildings. They will have reserves set aside for major repairs too, such as roof replacements. It's crucial you do your due diligence to figure out just what the HOA covers, especially when insurance is concerned. Let me give you an example. I have a townhome that I use as a rental. I pay $200 a month for HOA, which is $2,400 per year. However, I only need an HO6 policy, commonly referred to as a condo policy, because the HOA covers exterior insurance. This saves me about $1,000 per year in insurance costs. The HOA also covers a termite bond, which saves me about $300 per year, and takes care of grass cutting and lawn upkeep, which I would otherwise have to pay $50 every 2 weeks to get it done. So all that to say, I feel as though I come out on top on my particular HOA, even if it does seem expensive. Compare this to a typical single-family home. While your HOA dues will probably be less, oftentimes you'll get less bang for your buck dollar per dollar. You might even find a home that doesn't have an HOA. In that case, it's entirely up to you and your neighbors to maintain their own property values. Some people really despise HOAs, and I totally get that. Some are filled with angry Karens who get offended that your shutters aren't the right color. But the vast majority are made up of homeowners who just want to keep costs down and stay out of people's lives. But if you don't want all the bells and whistles that a townhome community might have, then a single-family neighborhood might be your best option, and it might actually be cheaper to maintain. Now, the last difference between townhomes and single-family homes I want to touch on is when it comes to resale value. I want to give you an interesting statistic. In Charleston in 2022, there were 1,804 townhomes sold, compared to 15,937 single-family homes. In other words, for every townhome that was sold, 8.5 single-family homes were sold. I suspect this statistic can carry over to other similar markets in the country. What's the reason for this? Well, most home shoppers prefer single-family homes over townhomes. When we picture the American dream, it typically involves owning a suburban single-family home with a yard for the dogs and the kids. As a result, because single-family homes are more desirable to the average home shopper, they're going to probably be easier to sell, though this does depend on a couple factors. Your buyer pool for townhomes is significantly smaller. What happens if you just want to rent out your townhome instead of selling it? I actually think there's not really a difference here. Think about it. The folks who are looking to rent a 2, 3, or 4 bedroom apartment are already used to a communal living environment. A townhome is more private and gives easier access to the yard. So in many ways, it's a step up for renters. The website rentometer.com, which is a fantastic tool, by the way, to use when analyzing the rental prospects of a property, doesn't actually consider whether a home is a single family or a townhome when determining average rent. The only thing that matters is bedroom count. Now, before we go, let me give you my brief thought on condominiums. Condos are going to be more similar to townhomes than single family, but you're typically going to have a much smaller size compared to a townhome. Condos are great because they tend to be closer to city centers, whereas similarly priced townhomes and single family homes are further away. So if you're looking for location over size, condos might be your best bet. However, I would say the biggest drawback to condominium units is how the HOA or the regime is organized. Oftentimes, large repairs are required to keep the building structure safe and modern. Most of the time, these costs are borne by the individual homeowners in a particular unit in the form of a special assessment. I'm not saying that townhome HOAs don't have special assessments, but they are more common in condo units. Also, your monthly HOA or regime fees tend to be much higher compared to a townhome. So that's definitely something you want to consider if you want to live in a unit like that. So there you have it, the 4 most important differences between townhomes and single family homes. And again, if you feel as though this video has provided clarity or value to you, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could like and subscribe. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.